Hi, Trish Ely here with eXp Realty. I'm a broker associate in the state of Florida, and I'm here with Diana Balans, and we're discussing the different options you have if you go through, you've gotten behind in your house payments and what you can do. The first thing that we discussed very briefly was loan modification. What are the reasons someone would do a loan modification, Diana?
Well, when they're falling behind or they're under their house, and it's time that they decide that there's something going on, a life-changing event in their household, and they want to
Can they do a loan modification
themselves.
if they're months and months behind in their payments?
Depending on if they have any money somewhere behind them, credit score, all that wonderful stuff. Honestly, I don't believe the lenders usually.
Most of the time, I have seen,
people.
if you want to do a loan modification and you want it to be successful, your husband lost his job, you want to move out of state, you're behind in your, you can't make next month's payment, you need to do a loan modification or sell the home right away. Yeah. The reason you would do a loan modification rather than sell the home is because you can't sell the home because it's upside down. Right. You owe $300,000 and it's worth $200,000. But you need to do them up front. Although the bank tells you can do them anytime, if you're way behind in your mortgage, usually it's too late and they won't do them. They'll just drag you on and on. So number one, we've already discussed in early videos, loan modification, then deed in lieu. That's just where you hand them the keys, cash for keys. You have a document where you say you're just giving up on the house and you give it back to them. Right. Sometimes that's a good thing for people. It's not as bad on your credit as a foreclosure. However, there are other options that make life easier for a bank and they're happier with you. And one of those is, we already have discussed on this last video, short sale, and we're going to go into more detail on the benefits of a short sale. Yeah. Now, Diana, a short sale means what exactly?
You're offering the bank a shorter amount of your remaining balance on your loan, your original loan. So it's basically a hardship application. And
so if I owe $300,000 and the house is worth $200,000, I put it on the market. I get an offer for $200,000.
Right.
And then I take that to you with the bank.
Correct.
And you negotiate with them, and we prove to them that the house is only worth $200,000, not $300,000, right?
Right. Well, there's a couple of different equations that go on with a short sale. Basically, there is the amount of your judgment, correct? Mm-hmm. And
that includes lawyers' fees,
lawyers' fees,
all the lien fees, and insurance, everything that they put on. If you stop paying your insurance, they've got a bill, and it's going to be twice as much as what you have for your insurance.
Yeah, very expensive. And of course, help me if there's any PMI, because then you have to get that also included on there.
And PMI is with FHA loans.
Yes. So, you have your judgment amount. Then you also, you have to look at the average market, right?
Value.
The value.
And so, usually they send out an appraiser to appraise the property.
Yep, a certified appraiser.
And they'll come back with. They usually have a real estate person come and do a market evaluation as well, and then they have a certified appraiser. And for some reason, those appraisals just seem always to be exceptionally higher than what it's really worth. Why is that?
Well, I don't know, but I believe 9 out of the 10 times the lender ends up sending an agent out from a completely different area. A lot of the times.
I've seen that over and over again. We had one on Siesta Key, and they sent somebody from Tampa. Yeah. And I'm like, Tampa's a little different than Siesta Key.
Exactly. You don't know the marketing of our area, of that area very well. So, and also, I really do believe that it's very important for somebody to be there when that value is being done.
Yes.
The agent has to be there and
open the door and explain it. Yes.
Yeah, because of course you're not allowed to give out all of the information, but of course if on your seller's disclosure that the roof just fell in about a month ago.
Yes.
The AC blew. So, I mean,
there's an encroachment on the property line.
Yeah. So the pipes are blown. I mean, you have underneath the house.
And half the time in a short sale, if you can't pay the mortgage, you're not able to upkeep a lot of the basic upkeep on the home as well.
Right. Yeah.
And so we handle all that for you. We handle them 100%. One thing I think is really important, when people start getting these letters in the mail from the bank, and they're usually very intimidating, and then they get a bazillion letters from lawyers, I'll help you. Yes. And the lawyers just forestall the process. They're really not doing a short sale. They're not helping them negotiate with the bank. They're just filing paperwork that stalls the process, right?
It basically buys time for the seller.
Yes,
of course.
and
it buys time.
In a short sale, they end up with time because the property has to sell, and they have to go through all the process. It's still going to take probably anywhere from 3 to 6 months on the average.
Absolutely.
And they'll still have time to stay in their home.
Yep. And I am still, just the last short sale, I was able to get $10,000 for the seller. So there are still lenders giving out relocation incentive. That's very important. So you're not only getting a waiver of deficiency, you're also getting a relocation assistance.
Yes.
Depending on your circumstances, of course.
And because the basic thing that happens is we put the house on the market, and we get an offer, and if you accept the offer, then the offer has to also be accepted by the bank. Correct. And the buyer of the home agrees to wait that period of time. Correct. During that period of time until the bank approves the entire process. Correct. And we work out all those details.
Absolutely.
And you're done. You never have another lawyer come to your door. You're not going to be served papers. Nobody's going to bother you because you're covered with an attorney and a negotiator and a real estate broker that are all going to protect you from all these people.
Most of the time, once you send in the authorization from the office, we usually get most of the mail anyway. The mail doesn't usually go to the seller.
Some does.
Sometimes they double up. They'll send it to both just to make sure that we're aware of what's going on with the short sale throughout the process, which is good. It's fine. Because they know, they're acknowledging that, we've got all your documents now, and you want to keep that.
Yes.
You want to keep that, because basically once you know that the file has completed, it has every single document, should the, plaintiff not decide to stop the foreclosure, you're still protected by Dodd-Frank. You're still able to say, listen, I submitted every single document you requested.
Okay, you just mentioned Dodd-Frank. Let's explain what that means, and how are they protected from Dodd-Frank if they filled out all the paperwork and they have an accepted offer.
Exactly. Well, it's supposed to protect you. It's the consumer protection of you. So it's supposed to protect you and state, okay, this is the time that you have that you're able to submit all of your documents, and we will not foreclose upon you. Now that we have a completed file in review, we need to respond.
Right. Okay. And so if you've done all the documents, they can't foreclose, and that's the bottom line. Now, let's explain one of the key factors is a hardship.
Yes.
When people can't pay their mortgage, there's usually a reason.
Absolutely.
Divorce, illness, loss of job, sick child, all kinds of different things that could happen.
Well, there's many circumstances that make you unable to pay your mortgage.
Right. And so what do we do with the hardship letter? How do we handle that?
Well, every lender wants to be a little bit more specific upon the time frame. So, in other words, I lost my job in March of 2016. I've been unable to secure another position since then. I've also, unfortunately, took ill. I was unable to get back to work quick enough. A nice, short, you don't have to be too elaborate, but you need to be brief but specific about how long you've been in this position, why you're in this position.
So they need to say how long they've been in the position, why they've been in the position.
Yeah. And do you intend to go back to work? Do you see your life changing? Are you going to maybe have a better job in 2000. Yeah.
Okay.
So they want you to be specific about what your positions are.
Okay, we just had 2 jump up on interest rates just recently.
Right.
In the last several months, how many short sales, which not short sales, but lis pendus, which means people are behind in their mortgage, and there was a filing by their lender on their mortgage. How many of those were in the last few months? Isn't it around 3,000?
3,000
in just 2 counties.
Just
in 2 counties.
Yeah.
Can we do short sales throughout the entire state to help people?
Absolutely.
It makes no difference which county you were in, but
Absolutely.
in 2 counties I'm aware of, there was over 3,000 in the last few months, and that is a lot. So there's a lot of people really struggling.
Yes.
And this is a real problem, in that the stress is unimagiable in what I see on people. And many times, depending on the culture of the people, they also they're humiliated. You know, they don't want to be in that situation. They want to.
Unfortunately, I've been doing this about 12 to 13 years. In the last year, I know of 3 suicides caused by the fear and stress of losing their home.
I just need to stop here right now. I also have a master's degree in social work. If you are feeling really desperate, even if you don't want to sell your house and you don't want to do anything, if there's anything I can do to help, I'm here. My number's on the end. I'd be glad to help. I really mean that. And I know this lady over here, she's not a social worker, but she's better than most of them. She will help you too. We're here to help regardless. My number's on there. I'll connect you with Diana if you want to connect with her. Just give me a call, email me. I'll do anything I can to help.